have incredibly talented directors like Ritesh Batra, Leslie Linka, Seet Man helped you get more into character? How do they explain to you what their vision of the character is, and also how have they helped you become a better actor?
A lot of these directors that I have worked with, and I will include a lot of incredible directors I have worked with in the theatre, in my theatre life as well. In fact, if you ask me, my real training ground and the tutoring that I've had, because I couldn't really afford film school or things like that, or I did some workshops here and there, but I wanted to learn on the job. So right after school, right after college, I went to Bombay or Mumbai, not really knowing anything, and but wanting to learn everything. So I have learned absolutely everything on the job with my with the directors that I've worked with, whether it's in ad films as well, because it's so different when you come from a world where you don't recognize anything that you see in the environment. Then you have to learn from scratch, from okay, this is a camera. I didn't even know there's a camera operator, for instance, who's called a DOP or a cinematographer. Really the vocabulary of your work is what you're learning. So I have learned from every single experience that I have had, good or bad. Because even in the bad experiences, I've realized that you learn what not to do. From great directors such as the ones that you've mentioned, Ritesh Batra, Leslie Linka, and so on and so forth, I have had the privilege of knowing them as friends, as colleagues, as human beings, to see how they observe life. And I know that there is no director whose work we love who doesn't observe life. And acting is really a recreation of life. You are recreating something that has happened or not happened. It's something that it's an imaginary world. And the only way that you can bring an imaginary world alive is by keeping your observations sharp about people, situations, just basically the human heart and how that functions, and not have a judgment. I think that's very important as actors, even as human beings, to cultivate a habit where you don't judge human beings and you don't judge situations. Everything is just as it is. Observing it and keeping a distance from something when you are watching it is honestly one of the greatest learnings that I've had as an actor. And all of these directors, really, the one thing that's common between all of them is that they just let you be on set. They let you be. They're very democratic. They always have their ears open. They listen more than they talk. They want to know more than they want to preach. They want to know where your heart is. They want to know what is your problem. Because finally, you are a vessel that they are going to pour everything into, and then you are going to serve the dish that the audience is going to consume. So it's up to you what you make out of what you're receiving, and what they do on their part is to keep that channel open, that communication open. That two-way street. That ongoing. It's like a conveyor belt, really. You're putting everything on it. They're putting everything on it. And everybody picks up whatever they want to pick up, and it just keeps going. And that really just brings the best out. I've never seen an environment bring out an excellent piece of work where people have been suffocated or not being able to communicate, or because it's such a human profession. It deals with human beings. You're dealing with each other's hearts, feelings, temperaments, nature. You're kind of getting to know each other as you're working. So I'm deeply impressed and deeply inspired by all of these directors that I've worked with, just by how soft-hearted they are and how open they are to receiving anything that I may want to express at all times.